Hello, everybody. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon. It is time for our spiritual light. Believe it or not, it's end of June, and the time is flying. Have already done half of the year, and it's been amazing. It's been amazing how fast and how quick we are learning here as well. So today we have Munir with us. Thank you, Munir, for joining us. And our talk, it is a sequence from previous weeks. And today we're gonna talk about how can I achieve my peace in this turbulent world. No, how can I calm down my mind and my heart? Okay, so that's the topic for today. So as I said, good evening, Munir. How are you, my friend? Welcome.
Hello, good evening, Stevan. Good evening, Charles, Elsa. To those watching us, my warm welcome to you all. It is a pleasure to be here with you guys again in the studio. It's always very nice to take part in the spiritual lights.
Thank you, Munir. Thank you. Good evening, Elsa. How are you, my dear?
Hello, Stevan. Hello, Charles. Hello, Munir. Hello, our dear friends that are here. I'm seeing someone. Hello, hello. It's a great pleasure once again to be here, especially talking about inner peace that we need the most. And we can deal, we can suggest, we can talk, we can exchange idea, we can comment about the theme today. So welcome everyone. Thank you.
Thank you. Bonsoir, Charles.
Bonsoir, Steven. Hello. Indeed, a big pleasure having Munir and Elsa and you, Steven, tonight, in order to, in this crazy world, no, busy world, and let's see how to keep cool in such a busy world.
Yeah. Thank you, Charles. Thank you. So, as I said, we are closing the month of June, the June series, with what may be the most practically urgent topic we have addressed this month, which is inner peace. Not that peace is a distant peace, an ideal peace, or a rewarded, reserved for the spiritual advancement, but that peace, a daily peace, an achievable peace. We're talking about a spirituality need in terms of conditions of life. We have spoken this month about the transformation of the earth and the healing of our emotional wounds. Both of those conversations ultimately point towards the same interior question. How do we remain stable, purposeful, and genuinely at peace in the middle of a world that is visibly in upheaval? If you missed our previous talks from June, you can go to Irish Spiritist Federation, Spiritism Movement, Francophone Spiritist Movement. You can go to Buzz YouTube, and you can watch our latest episodes. Spiritism, drawing on Kardec, on Leon Denis, and on a tradition that has been thinking seriously about the interior life for over 170 years. Has a great deal to say about why peace is so difficult to find, where it actually comes from, and what concrete practices generally support it. So we are glad to have Munir with us, and let's trigger our final episode from June 2026. So, Munir, as always, I will start with our guests. My question to you it is Kardec places prayer at the center of Spiritism practice. What kind of prayer does Spiritism actually recommend, and why does it matter specifically for inner peace?
Hi, Stevan. Yes, inner peace is so necessary nowadays. And Kardec, very wisely, he placed a prayer at the center of it. And not the traditional type of prayer where we recite over and over again the text without realizing what we are doing. When we talk about prayer, what comes to my mind is what Jesus recommended, go to a quiet corner. It doesn't necessarily mean a quiet place around us, but inside us. And go there and then establish this higher level of communication with a higher dimension, with the Creator, with God. In doing that, we established with a connection with, spirits who are already in peace, who are always in peace. And this is a condition that in the future, as we evolve, we will draw ourselves closer and closer. A condition where no matter what is going on around us, our inner state is a state of peace. So peace is an inner state. It's not a quiet place. It's not a life without problems. No, it's an inner state. And that's why prayer is so important. We, from ourselves, we have difficulties in gathering the resources that are necessary to bring back balance when we are faced with a difficult situation. We panic. It's natural. We have gone through experiences in the past that, left in us these sensations, these memories. And every time we are faced with uncertainty, with difficulties, these situations, these past memories, they take over. And what is important for us to get out of this condition is exactly through prayer. Because then we place ourselves, as I said before, in connection with higher spirits who then can envelop us also in a kind of harmony, of peace, of tranquility, serenity. It's also important, but I think we are going to talk through the program today. We will talk about all the aspects of acquiring this peace, but in this particular case is prayer. It is very important. And it is something that we should practice every day. Because for us to achieve a level of peace through prayer, we need to practice that. Today, I may be distracted. I may recite words without paying attention, but slowly I start to draw these inner states from inside myself and bring balance to it. So I find then through that balance, I get inspiration from through prayer, from higher spirits. I get also protection. I'm surrounded by an atmosphere of peace, of harmony, and through that, then they can help myself to find balance. But it's also very important that we know ourselves, Stevan. It's important that we practice this, getting to know ourselves, getting to know where our difficulties are, where the elements that will be triggered in a difficult situation and, lead us to a situation where we are restless, where we are agitated, where we are even tormented by the situation. And of course, it keeps away through prayer, through putting ourselves at a higher level of vibration. It puts aside the influence of spirits who sometimes not out of their evil nature. No, it's just spirits who are also in panic, just like we are, and they affect us. So it is a collective hysteria. You see, we basically tune in with spirits who are already in a situation of unbalance, and when we pray, we then manage to go over these situations, and as I said before, connect to the sources of balance and harmony.
That's beautiful. Thank you. Thank you. Elsa, do you have anything to add?
Yes, I have something here that I was thinking what Munir said, because Munir always brings very things important for us. But in modern life, constantly stimulate anxiety. I see because myself sometimes every day in running here, running there, hot weather, so many things. But where is my peace? Sometimes I have to catch my peace. And so modern life constantly stimulating anxiety, comparison, urgency, and fear. According to Spiritism, true peace is not found in external circumstances, but in the education of the soul. We should reflect and think. Breathe. When we are breathing, we stimulate something in our brain and calm down so the peace comes again. So we always said to someone that you are in urgency, fear, or afraid about something, a deep breath. So calm down. But it's something that is immediately. But we have to constantly be in peace. It's difficult, not easy, but we can achieve. Because Allan Kardec teach us that we are immortal spirit undergoing a process of evolution, for sure. When we understand life's difficulties as opportunities for growth rather than punishment, we begin to develop serenity. We are more confident. And Jesus, he said to us, "Peace I leave with you, my peace I give unto you." Peace begins within. So if we put in our mind that we need peace in our family, in our jobs, in our streets, in our relationship between friends or between couples, we should think more because peace is health. Health is connected with peace. When we are unbalanced, fears, etc., our health is really facing difficulties as well. So for our own sake, we should bring peace. First of all, peace inside ourselves.
Thank
Okay?
you. Thank you, my dear. And it's important for everybody knows from today we are broadcasting to Life Spiritist Society in Denmark. So their YouTube, it is broadcasting our live every Wednesday going forward. So I want to say welcome to Life Spiritist Society in the person of Rubens for giving us this space and allowing us to reach out our Danish friends. So thank you so much. And see how you are important, Munir. You are the first
Yeah.
live for them.
Yes, it's good to be with you guys at this special day.
Yeah, yeah, good, good. So let's move on. And Charles, my question to you is: how does Spiritism distinguish uh, between providence and fatalism, and why this distinction is critical for anyone seeking inner peace?
Yeah, thank you for the question, Stevan. It's indeed a very good question, as usual. And basically, I think Munir said it, Elsa as well. It's a question of point of view. What is our point of view? Is our point of view from the cradle to the tomb? Only one life and nothing before and nothing after? Or is our point of view following the spiritualist paradigm, which means spirit, we have already an old spirit with a lot of experiences, incarnation and so on. And we have a journey that we are ongoing, making our efforts to progress. And after passing away, this will happen one day sooner or later, we just go back to the spiritual world. So this gives a better point of view of what we are, where do we come from, and where do we go to. And only this, the fact to know this is already a huge factor for this inner peace, because when we are in doubt, we are not sure, we are afraid about the death, we are afraid about this, about that, about what else. It's because we don't know. If we know, we are not afraid of all these things anymore. And the other advantage of this point of view is we know that our material life is only temporary. It's from the cradle to the tomb. And the day we pass away, we will not take a single penny and a single atom from our physical body with us. All what is material stays here. I think I'm repeating myself a little bit, but it's very important to understand this point of view.
Mm-hmm.
And from this point of view, we understand better a lot of other questions like the one you asked me about fatalism or determinism and free will. So one basic teaching of the spiritist body of knowledge is that we as humans, we have a free will. We are not machines which are programmed and following the biochemical reactions in our brain. No, we have the free will, which is in our spirit, to do, not to do, to go, not to go, to learn, not to learn, to progress or not to progress. So this is very strong. Nevertheless, there are some items on which we can assume that the fatalism exists. For instance, laws of nature. If we cannot, our free will cannot go against the natural laws. If you pull from the window, you will fall down. You are not free anymore not to fall down. You will fall down because it's natural law, which are the same for anyone. And we have exactly to use our free will to be in harmony with this natural law and to avoid doing things that will at the end harm us or harm some others and so on. And that is exactly when our free will is used and our liberty is growing. Now we get help for this. When you talk about providence, divine providence, okay. We never have trials which are above what we are capable to overcome, capable to resolve, to solve. And on another hand, we are never alone. Even when you think we are alone, there are always spiritual mentors, in particular one which is dedicated to each one of us, which is here to help us. And it's a question to ask him. And then when you ask him, to listen in the conscience, in the intuition, inspiration, whatever, or sleeping a night over it, and the next day having clearer ideas. And this is one of the way on which this divine providence is expressing itself. So we are not fatally in front of a lot of trials, abandoned without any help. It's exactly the opposite. We have this divine providence. And knowing this and calling, Munir spoke about prayer. It's exactly the way elevate our thoughts or to pray is doing such that we come closer to our spiritual guide, to these good spirits which are here to help us. And it's one of the factors which is exactly bringing this inner peace. Our spiritual mentor, when we feel him or it or she or her, this we feel that we are not alone, and sometimes it's quite incredible to see at which point, even ostensibly, they are helping us in the difficult moments of our life. When we are just in the moment, we do not always see or feel this help. But when we look a little bit in the past, the trials we managed to overcome and so on, it's getting obvious to us that this mentor is with us, huh? And that it's only up to us to come closer to this mentor and also to listen to him. And this is a really a good, the best way for keeping cool, keeping calm, and reach this inner peace. Because another point is we always have difficulties and trials. We always are in situations with adversity and so on. Why? Because this is exactly what is helping us to progress more. Huh? If everything is okay, we accommodate, we don't do efforts, we just relax, and like this, we do not progress as much as when we have to mobilize our inner resources, call also this help from the mentors in order to go and to solve problems and to overcome difficulties. And that is exactly when we are most progressing, which is ultimately the first objective, the main goal of our current incarnation journey.
Thank you, my friend. Thank you, Charles. Thank you. It is really important to distinguish because we need to give peace of our heart, peace of our mind. And then here we have a question, and this is from Life Spirited Society. How can we find the inner peace even when life around us feels rushed and overwhelming? Munir, would you mind to answer that question, please?
No, it's a pleasure to share my perception of it. I haven't got a ready-made solution for that, but I have elements that I try to practice to reach this state of peace wherever the world around me is presenting, is showing. And I think one word that has a lot of meaning to me is purpose. My purpose in life. What am I doing here? Are things happening by chance? Or is this part of a plan? Am I subject to perfect laws? Or am I just forgotten here in this corner of this infinite universe? You see, once you know what we are doing here, or we don't know exactly what we are doing here, but we know we are doing something that is positive, and at least we would bring some advancement to ourselves, spiritually speaking, and that we are not alone. There is a purpose for that. And the laws that govern all these movements, they are perfect laws. So that will bring a state of peace to help us overcome whatever difficulty. You know that difficulty has been someone who is perfect, is aware of that. And if I'm faced with that, that's because, something good will come out of that. And I'm not alone. As Charles said, we are assisted and inspired. We are not here in this enterprise, in this, job here on our own. You see, there are actually spirits who are interested in our progress, and they are with us. They helped us program our incarnation. And everything is programmed according to perfect laws. So in the end, something good will come out of that. That will bring certain peace to us and say, well, I'm supposed to face this. I'm supposed to make the most of it. Because if I do that, I'll gain something in spiritual terms. And knowing that, we are not presented with the lessons that we don't need. The lessons that we have to face are the ones that are necessary for us at this point. So let's face it. Why are we afraid of? What is actually, creating problems for us? You see, usually material aspects of life. What if I lose my job? What if I don't get, that amount of money I'm expecting during this year? What if I have to go to that part of the planet? What if, you see? So everything is more related. And if we could see the plan, the reason why that, perhaps we would relax a little bit more and, be less concerned with the outcome of that and make the most to, guarantee to make sure that the end result will be good, will be beneficial in spiritual terms. I mean, that's how I see it. You see, we are constantly bombarded by difficulties, by a difficult world, by and I ask myself, what am I doing here? Why am I in all this? You see, I'm a peaceful person. I don't want to create trouble to anyone. Why am I surrounded by trouble, by problems, by difficult people, by difficult situations, by sometimes a very aggressive nature, and to the elements, and then I said, well, there is a reason for that. Let's find out, and let's make the most of it. If I'm being
Munir,
consistent, yeah.
so listen, you came to mind one situation that happens when I used to live in Brighton, so many years ago, okay, 2000, I think 2004, 2005, and I was observing every morning a lot of seagulls come to eat apples and things that I left in the garden for them. But one seagull in particular, was the one that was beating every other ones, didn't left the other ones eat in peace. At the end of the day, the others ate everything, and the one that was always provoking the others stay without nothing. And I said, see, we are sometimes like that. We should, instead of observing peaceful way to stay wherever we are, if we don't have money, because it's not money that brings peace for us, as Charlotte pointed when he pointed, but what brings peace for us is our peace of mind, that we can really observe what we are doing in our society. Maybe I am the person that always provoking others, making a gossip, or always in negative mood, whatever, making disturbance. Why you don't change this position? Try to, at least one week, entire week, be in good mood, smiling, bring peace around. Our aura can reflect our peace. People can see immediately when you are perturbed, when you are coming and provoking things that make a mess in the air, politically speaking, or we can be the person that everyone said, oh, thanks God, it's coming Elsa, or it's coming Munir, or it's coming Charles, it's coming Stevan, or it's coming Patricia, that bring peace in the ambient. We should be this vehicle that the benefactors count on us to be someone as a beacon of peace, wherever we are, in our buildings, in our families, in our discussions, in our lives, wherever we go. It's so easy, but as I said, many people possess wealth, status, and recognition, a lot of money, cars, but sometimes they never find peace, because peace is not something material. You don't buy with money. Even if you have a lot of money, continuing loneliness, experiencing anxiety, dissatisfaction. So start on us. The peace of the world starts in myself. We have the beautiful music in Brazil, and the movement of peace that Divaldo created in 2009, I think, or before that, more than 40 years. Is something very good that we can follow. We can think that the peace starts in myself, and I am the one that can have a flag of peace wherever I go. It's so easy to do that, but first of all, we are treating our health. We are taking out all the toxins that our anxiety brings towards us make us ill. Our blood streams carry all these toxins in our kidney, in our liver, everywhere in our body, and make us ill with problems. So breathe deeply, a deep breath before anything, before shouting, before sending bad emails, bad messages, or holding bad thoughts. Deep breaths, once, twice, as many as you can. If you don't pray, a deep breath bring calm to you. But if you can pray, better connection, that of course, we will talk about the prayer, maybe, and the prayer bring peace towards our heart, our mind, our spirit in these so agitated days that we are living now.
Perfect. Thank you, my dear Elsa. Thank you, Munir. As well, I hope these answers the question raised to us today.
Maybe,
Yeah,
Steven,
Charles,
I can give an example.
please.
I had the chance in my professional life, I'm retired now. When the people asked me questions, I was always answering. I didn't need to hide or anything my beliefs that I was spiritist and whatsoever. And from time to time, one of the other colleagues or even boss came make me some question about it. And I was always answering because I was always doing my job in the best possible way, materially speaking, and fulfilling the objective and whatsoever as far as possible without being perfect, etc. And at a given point came a situation with intense overload with a lot of problems and huge stress. And I remember a meeting where I was with some peers and my boss. And the boss was really, I don't know how he survived to such intense stress, as Elsa told, because we really can get ill when we lose control like this. And I was always calm, and trying to look for solutions and to mobilize, keep the resources without losing them with too much stress or fear or whatever, and trying to think calmly and to find solutions. And that day, my boss told to me, with all this terrible situation, how do you manage to stay so calm? And I answered to him, you know it. I told about it to you already. Okay, so let's sit down, calm down, and try to find the best possible way out of this huge situation. And it was just like this. He was just, you know, and it was an illustration of how we can see with different eyes, see even the adversity as opportunities, and stay calm even when in intense stress situations.
Yeah, Stevan, if I may say, we even block
Yeah,
the inspiration from good spirits when we start to get into that vibration of panic, and then it becomes more difficult for us to find a solution for that. And if we are we have our mind in peace, that we are doing our utmost, you see, so you say, well, the rest will come from somewhere else. That's when prayer is important. This not this prayer that you stop and you recite over and over again ready-made words, but where inside you are constantly with that atmosphere, you see. So you prevent being affected too much by these situations in life. And then there's also an example, perhaps I think most of you already know, that the situation that Chico Xavier went through once when he was flying from one place to another in Brazil, and they had to face a storm. And then the airplane was shaking and up and down, and he panicked, just like the others, And then he started shouting, "Oh God, we are going to die, we're going to die." And then his spirit guide, Emmanuel, came, walked towards him and said, "Why are you shouting? Stop shouting. It's not good for other people to see you shouting. And why are you shouting?" He said, "Oh, can't you see we're about to die? The plane is going to crash and we're about to die." And then Emmanuel said to him, you see, he got in panic because he was going to die. And then Emmanuel said to him, what is the point? I'm dead. So you were panicking about something that, I went through already. And what's the point? Death is part of life. If it is for you to die, you're going to die. And so what? You see, so we create these situations for us. We panic about everything. We as Emmanuel once said, don't live into the future. Don't panic about situations that may not even, happen. So why are we so concerned about that? And we get stressed, and then you get the influence also of negative spirits, if not evil spirits, who are very pleased to put us down, to create, a situation very, very much unfavorable. And I think this is something that, we should practice. We should practice.
We can say, Munir, that the prayer does not always change circumstances, situation. Often it changes us. And that change allow us to see life differently. So we can have, if you calm down, we can have a solution.
Live in peace. Yeah, live in peace, whatever. Yeah.
This is very important, to maintain ourselves in peace and be connected with the benefactors, our guardian angels, or you can call in your religion your mentor. But for sure, our panic, our shouting, our stress moment doesn't allow our mind to connect with the spiritual mind to help us, for sure. And the situation is there. When you calm down, you go there, and the solution comes. Because you have calmed down your mind in order to see the way that you can really organize, as Charles was always calm in the middle of a turmoil, in his company, or at the moment that he needed, he was there for everyone, showing that calming down is the solution, first of all.
Yeah. We need to calm down. Charles, I'm jealous about you, my friend.
No, my goodness.
Yeah. So, Pat said, that's so interesting. Sometimes we could be creating difficulties to ourselves due to our actions, thoughts. Very insightful, Elsa.
Exactly.
Also, she said, I'd like to be non-reactive and stay calm. Okay, now you're two. Same thing.
When
So,
you use
Louvier,
you use your means. When you are angry, you it's a loss of control. So let's keep the control of ourselves. It's a question of emotional intelligence, so-called. And on top of it, spiritual intelligence.
Yeah. Good, good. So,
It's so nice when we understand about immortality, reincarnation, about the laws, divine laws, and nature laws. When we, as we study here calmly in our spiritist groups, that bring peace when you are clarifying, so I know now, I could use this, I could use that. So this is the way that you can reflect, because it's sometimes facing some pains and sufferings in order to progress. But Spiritism offers the meaning of about what we are going in with the situation, to understand the immortality, sufferings, reincarnation is a great step that we can achieve in order to bring peace in our minds, because we know that everything there's a purpose, as Munir said in the beginning, in our life. Not is by chance. If you put up a lot of little letters, doesn't come down phrases or words properly organized. No, everything there's a purpose in our life. It's up to us. It's up to you. It's up to each one to do what is the best for our families, especially our life, our way to live, and what we are expecting for the future. The way that we are preparing the future is shouting, making enemies, always in bad mood, that punching the wall or breaking things, because the other thing doesn't nothing to do with our behavior, our sentiments, bad or good. We are the ones responsible for everything. So to understanding all this about our soul, reincarnation, spiritual journey, etc., it's a good because helping us to see a diversity as part of a larger journey. We are not alone. Thousands and thousands of trillions of people are like us, the same pattern to evolve. Our planet is still trials and attunements, but we will get there. Maybe more 3,000 years, I don't know, more than that. 2,000 years Jesus came, and we are still shouting, still acting as a Pharisees, still making our own rules instead of observing the rules of nature inside our conscience. Yeah? Only, sorry that I interrupted someone.
No, you didn't interrupt. Not at all. Not at all. Okay, we still have time for one more question here. Let me see.
If I say something
Right.
quickly, Stevan,
Yeah.
one of the greatest obstacles to peace is resentment. Resentment is really making us suffer for nothing. We are going down. Resentment, jealousy, okay, this selfishness, things that take us out of our good mind, our good connection with the benefactors. Anger, that's terribly, this emotion is not good at all. It makes us suffer even more.
Yeah. Uh, let's go with you, Charles. Um, Kardec and Leon Denis wrote in the 19th century. How does Spiritism framework apply to specifically modern challenges, information overload, digital distraction, and the collapse of contemplative space? So, what's why their work is still remaining updated?
Yeah, it's indeed a good question. This is why we are still spreading their concepts and ideas of the Spiritist body of knowledge, because indeed, what happened in the meantime, when they started, in particular Kardec, the philosophy, for instance, was not so materialist as it is today. There were even some philosophical ideas like French spiritualism, which was a kind of a rational spiritualism, which was taught in the schools and even in the Sorbonne, in the university or wherever. So the people had a little bit more openness to these spiritual ideas, not on a religious, dogmatic point of view, but on a rational point of view. No, we are not machines. The will is a fundamental attribute from the spirit. It cannot be an attribute from the physical body, and so on and so on. In the meantime, the things have, I would even say, worsened, because the materialist paradigm got stronger and stronger. And according to the materialist paradigm, it goes from the cradle to the tomb. Again, we have no soul. Everything is determined by the biochemical reaction in our brain, as I said. So we are somehow like machines. And machines running after what? Running after happiness, running after inner peace and whatever. I mean, it makes not so much sense, isn't it? And that's why we get lost. And in order to forget all this, we have the technology, we have the material comfort, money, all this material stuff, which in reality is necessary for our material life. But most of the time we go to superfluous things. A lot of things we run behind, illusions, things that we absolutely don't need, and we are making us unhappy because we cannot reach these unrealistic goals or whatever. We are seeking the inner peace in material stuff instead of seeking it into the inner, inside ourselves, seeking the peace of our soul. So that's why what Kardec and Denis have written about this subject, the spiritist body of knowledge, is more actual than ever, And a lot of people are somehow tired, not finding peace in all this hurry and material stuff and so on, and are again looking to seek this inner peace into some other ideas, some other concept of the world or concept of what human being is and is not. And that is, in fact, where all we four here around the screen and a lot of other people which are sharing the spiritist body of knowledge or the spiritist beliefs found a lot of peace and a lot of resources to overcome all these materialist illusions, And that's why these teachings are more important than ever, because this does not mean that Spiritism is against the technological progress and use of digital means. It's exactly what we are doing here, but on a good purpose, not for futility things which are useless and so on. We are trying to use these means for something which is which can help you who are listening us to find this inner peace. So it's like everything. We have a lot of tools, but what do we use the tools for? Do we use the tools for good, or do we use the tools for useless or even bad things? It's our choice, our free will. And that is then helping us in getting a clear conscience, using the tool for good purpose, whilst when we are using all these resources, including polluting our planet, huge resources for all these data centers and so on, for things which are not of the same utility, it's of course at the opposite, giving us a guilty conscience, a bad conscience, And inner peace is all about having seeking clear conscience and avoiding guilty conscience. And this is, at the end, living in harmony with the lateral law, using the resources without abusing those resources, making the difference between what is necessary for our life, and what is superfluous, and that we lose our time and our energy running about superfluous things, does not make us happy and does not bring us inner peace. Whilst being satisfied with the little we have, this, at the opposite, is making us, bringing us this inner peace. And this is very clear in the Kardec's and the Léon Denis writings.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, Charles mentioned a very important point, which is our conscience. Our conscience is our compass, the compass that we have in us. So every time we go against natural laws and we do not follow this compass, we get a guilty conscience. We may, ignore it for a while, but then that will bring to us, unhappiness and all sorts of problems, because, in the end of the day, deep inside, we know we're doing something, that is not totally correct. And what Spiritism, Kardec, Léon Denis, and some others brought to us is always up to date, because it's always helping us to face our reality today, but thinking into a much broader reality, which is the spiritual one. I'm going to die. I'll return to the spirit world. And when I'm presented with my, incarnation plan and start to, look and say, oh, I was supposed to do that. I didn't. Yeah, but my conscience warned me about that. Oh, I wasted so many resources. And what did I gain in spiritual terms? Hardly anything. So, you see, as Sean said, the progress, material progress of the world, it is necessary because it's how we develop ourselves intellectually. Our intelligence is developed through these daily tasks, daily challenges that we have in our lives, and the progress will come. It's a consequence of our efforts, intellectual effort. But we neglect our spiritual gain with that. That's the problem. We think that only the material gain and that we can postpone our death indefinitely. It will never come, almost, and we forget that. And to get a guilty conscience in the spirit world, to me, is something that prevents me from, doing, or at least reevaluating things before making my decisions. Because, one thing that I hate a lot is going back to the spiritual world and seeing that I failed. You see, I could have done better and I didn't. That is something that we certainly have. So this perspective from the spiritist point of view, I think, helps me and help a lot of people. Today, tomorrow, you see, 100 years from now, because we give a different perspective to what we do in life. Not that we've abandoned, and live isolated without any technology or anything. No, on the contrary, we make the most of it, of our intellectual progress and material progress, of course. But with this perspective of reincarnation, the perspective of immortality.
Can I say my final words, Stevan?
Yes, of course you can.
So I'll say now, because I know that we have our announcements now. I prepared to give our final words. Inner peace is not the absence of challenges. It is the confidence that whatever happens, we are immortal spirits under the loving care of God. The more we understand our spiritual nature, the more calm we become amid the noise of the world. That's it. But I found it so beautiful, this phrase, that I want to share with you all.
Yeah, it is really very beautiful. Okay. So, since you are in the final words, Charles and Munir, what's your final words?
Yeah, I mean, as I said it, I mean, it's a question of point of view, and we have even an image that we put a sticker on the car. Keep calm and read Kardec. This is really it makes good to understand all these principles, to see all these evidences about existence of the soul and so on, to change completely the point of view. And that's a very, very, very strong argument and a good way to reach this inner peace.
Yeah. Yeah, good. Okay. Munir?
Yeah, I would only say, know yourself and know the spiritist values. I think knowing ourselves and using spiritist values to, find our way is the best thing, one can do for oneself.
Yeah. Okay, good. Maria Elsa, now the announcement is with you today.
Oh, you can say, I can put. Okay.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. Yes. No, something wrong here. I think I have the wrong one. I'm sorry. I loaded the wrong one. Oh my God. Okay, let me put this down. I have to remove because I
But
prepared
fix the
one
inner peace
beautiful.
and fix it. Yeah.
Huh? Okay. I try to find it quickly, but I think I don't find things quickly when I'm doing things. So it's a picture because I really prepared a good one for today.
And
It's
that
here.
case, right? Understanding of spiritual nature has also to do with emotional intelligence and spiritual intelligence, which is a new notion which is even closer to this. Even using the word spiritual in a totally secular way.
Remove from this picture. Found the one here. It's hiding in PDF. Your computer. I don't know how to find it now, Steven. I'm sorry.
No, try. Do we have time?
I'm sorry. It's here, but I cannot upload it. Everything is here in front of me, but I cannot upload it. I don't know where I
You can
save
share
it.
your screen.
Do you want me to share?
Okay, you have it. I have the latest one here, but you can do yours.
No, it's. I need to download just 1 second.
Desktop. Now I can go to the desktop, but it's something coming. I have to learn how to do it. Slide. Okay. Computer. Where is the computer? Okay, here. Desktop. Announcements. I think I open it now.
Okay, try.
Oh, it's processing. How long it takes to upload?
It's quickly.
I'm sorry. Take longer than normal, Steven. It's better to send it to you quickly, okay?
No. Yeah, it's there.
Oh my God. Okay. You can say.
Me? Okay. So
Next
this,
Sunday.
yeah, this the following Sunday. No, this Sunday. This Sunday, not for this Sunday, we will have in Birmingham a new way to present Spiritism, and it's called Spiritist Book Club in Birmingham. So, as you can see, we have a reading menu in which will be read and discussed all these Spiritism topics. Is a innovative way to do it, and I hope Elsa bring good feedback for us from this session on Sundays.
I will be there Sunday.
Yes, good. So next week, purpose and meaning. Why are we here? You didn't take the wrong bus. You took the right bus. You are here, and let's find out why you are here. So, Medium's book every Saturday from 10:30 a.m. until 11:30 with Munir, Charles, and Guilherme. So, Munir will start a new series, Genesis book. Very interesting. It's good. It's every Wednesday at noontime in the UK time, early morning for the guys in Brazil. So this since 3rd of June he had it. So this is the year of Marlene Lobre, and the talk it is with Elsa this month on the 12th of July, 7 p.m. My Life with Marlene. I'm pretty sure there's lots to talk here.
Sorry, Christine.
Okay. Fourth International Spiritist Congress Joana de Angelis in Portugal from August 28th to 30th in Fatima. And the topic is overcoming the pains of the soul, the path to mental health. It's good. And also, as we announcing, between 18th and 20th of September, we will have the 9th European Spiritist Gathering in Vergemont, in Belgium, along with the kids and the youth gathering happening at the same time, so you can bring your kids along with you. Please keep reading Spiritist Magazine. It's free, always wonderful articles, up-to-date topics. I bet you will read it with your heart. And thank you to Buzz, Kardec Radio, Life Spiritist Society, Francophonic Spiritist Movement, and Irish Spiritist Federation for the support in all these years we are having this show. That's it.
Thank you.
Thank you for us. I will take a holidays. So I'll be out for the month of July, but I will leave you in more than capable hands.
I just learned that there's something here.
You learn. So I'll be back. I'll be back in August. So thank you guys. Enjoy your summer. Thank you, Elsa. Thank you, Charles. Thank you, Munir.
Thank
I'll
you.
see you in August. And we'll see you next week, 9 p.m. London time. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye bye.
Glad